I once knew a man named Michael. He won more than $2 million in the lottery, and in that moment he thought his life had turned a new page. He bought cars, bought a house, partied all night, and told his friends, I'll never have to worry about money again. But just 3 years later, he lost it all, not because of bad investments, but because of bad thinking. You see, money doesn't change people. It magnifies who they truly are inside. If you haven't learned to master yourself, money will quickly master you. If you don't know how to manage $100, you'll lose $1 million just the same. There's a truth most people don't want to hear. Money doesn't flow to dreamers. It flows to those with systems, discipline, and the right mindset. Life doesn't pay you for what you wish for. It pays you for what you deserve. And that worth is proven every single day through your habits, your actions, and the way you treat every dollar you have. In today's video, I'll share 12 principles that completely change the way I see money. Not shallow, get-rich-quick tips, but mindset foundations that make money naturally start flowing toward you because you've become the kind of person money trusts. And you should stay until the end of the video because principle number 11 might completely change how you see financial freedom forever. Principle number 1, fix your thinking before you fix your finances. I once said, if you give a poor man $1 million very soon, he'll be poor again. Not because the money vanished, but because his old mindset pulled him back to where he was. Money doesn't solve your problems. It amplifies them. If you spend recklessly with $1,000,000, you'll lose control with $100,000. If you don't have an investor's mindset when you're poor, you won't be able to keep money when you're rich. And if you're confused, anxious, and afraid about your current finances, adding more money will only make that fear grow. I once met a student named Sarah. She worked hard, earned a decent salary, but ended every month broke. She told me, Coach Jim, I need to make more money. I smiled and said, no, Sarah, you need to think differently. Because the problem wasn't her income, it was how she treated it. Financial change starts with changing the way you think about money. Many people see money as the enemy. They hate it, fear it, or avoid talking about it. Others worship it as if it defines their worth. Both are wrong. Money isn't good or bad. It's just a mirror reflecting how you live, work, and make decisions every day. If you want money to flow into your life, start by clearing your mind. Let go of the belief that money is evil. Stop thinking I'm not good enough to be rich. Don't see wealth as something distant. Remember, the world doesn't pay you for your wishes. It pays you for the value you create. And your mindset is where that value begins. You might ask, how do I change my money? Mindset. Start with 3 simple steps. 1 core. Observe. Every time you're about to spend money, ask, am I buying value or am I buying emotion too wetty? Record, write down all your expenses for 30 days. Not to save money, but to understand yourself. 3-1, learn to spend 30 minutes a day on financial education, because 1 hour of understanding is worth more than a year of complaining. I've seen hundreds of people transform their financial lives simply by changing their core beliefs. They stopped blaming the economy, their boss, or luck. They started asking, how can I improve my value to deserve a bigger flow of money? When you ask the right questions, money starts finding its way to you. Because money is energy, and energy always flows toward order, clarity, and confidence. If your mind is chaotic, money will leave. If your thinking is clear, money will stay. Remember, you can't get rich with the same old wallet or the same old mindset. Improving your thinking is the first step and the foundation for every other principle. Ask yourself, am I controlling money or is money controlling me? And when you're ready for the next step, join me for principle number 2, stop waiting. Start moving, where you'll learn how to activate the first flow of money through timely and intentional action. Principle number 2, stop waiting. Start moving. Don't wait, take action. Money only responds to movement. I once told my students, money doesn't flow to the smartest person, it flows to the one who starts the earliest. I remember once a young man came to me. He said, sir, I'm waiting until I have the perfect plan to start. I asked, how long have you been waiting? He replied, 3 years. I smiled. You don't lack a plan, you lack movement. Because you see, no path opens up for someone who stands still and waits. The world rewards those who act, not those who plan. You can read hundreds of books, watch thousands of videos, but if you never take action, all that knowledge is meaningless. Today we live in an age overflowing with opportunities, AI startups, remote work, digital investing, creative skills. It's never been easier or less risky to start. And yet, paradoxically, people hesitate more than ever. They fear mistakes, failure, or judgment. And while they're getting just a bit more ready, someone else has already acted and seized the opportunity. Action isn't the result of confidence. In fact, confidence is born from action. You can't think until you're ready. You can only do until you're ready. I started my first business with just a few $100s and a notebook. No guarantees, no paved road ahead. But I knew one thing. Waiting doesn't pay interest. Only action pays dividends. Every small step teaches you something you'll never learn by sitting still. You act, you adjust, you grow. And that growth is what makes money start to trust you. Successful people aren't different from you in ability. They're different in how fast they decide. They don't wait for inspiration. They create it through action. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They turn current conditions into a starting point. Why does money respond to action? Because action is proof of belief. When you act, you send a signal to life. I'm serious. And life begins to send back opportunities, relationships, and results in return. Remember, the world doesn't reward ideas. It rewards ideas. Put into motion. No one remembers those who were going to do something. They remember those who did. So don't wait until you're ready. Start today. Even if it's small, clumsy, or imperfect. Action is the only cure for fear and procrastination. Stop and ask yourself, what is something I know I should do, but keep putting off? If there is, that's the treasure buried right beneath your feet. And once you've taken those first steps, remember the next step matters most, because financial freedom is earned, not handed out. Principle number 3 will show you why financial freedom is never a gift, but a reward for discipline and effort. Principle number 3, financial freedom is earned, not handed out. Financial freedom is a reward, not a gift. I once met a young man named David. He worked at a tech company earning a salary many people dream of. Yet every month he complained, I still don't have freedom. I still feel tied to money. I asked, why do you think that? He said, because even with money, I still have to work. I'm still afraid of losing it, still under pressure. I smiled and said, that's because you haven't earned freedom. You're just temporarily possessing the results of someone who has it. You see, financial freedom doesn't come as a free add-on when you have a lot of money. It comes when you become the person who deserves it. No one hands it to you. Not the government, not your boss, not the company, not the market. Only you with your own discipline, habits, and mindset can build it. You cannot be given what you haven't learned to keep. Just as you cannot accidentally become wealthy just because someone paved the way. Financial freedom is the result of training your mindset, skills, and way of life. Most people want the result, but don't want to pay the price. They want money, but hate discipline. They want success, but don't want to endure loneliness. They say, I deserve more, but their actions don't prove it. And life responds precisely. When you prove it, you'll receive it. Freedom doesn't come from working less. It comes from working smarter. You don't need to work 16 hours a day, but you need to work 8 hours with 100% energy, focus, and responsibility. Look at any successful person. They don't wait for miracles. They lay the foundation every day. They learn about money, learn about investing, learn how to work smarter, and most importantly, they stay consistent with the journey, even when no one cares, no one cheers. If you want freedom, you must learn how to save yourself, because no one is coming to liberate you from busyness, from financial pressure, or from debt. You must do that yourself through each small action, each disciplined habit, each dollar saved. I once said you don't get paid for the hour, you get paid for the value you bring to the hour. You're not paid for the time, but for the value you create in that time. That is the core of financial freedom, becoming a person of higher value every day. When you develop yourself, your income reflects it. And when you keep growing, freedom becomes inevitable. Remember, no one owes you freedom. You have to earn it yourself, $1 at a time, one early morning at a time, one resisted temptation to spend at a time. Every disciplined action is a brick building the bridge to freedom. Ask yourself, am I making money just to get by, or am I building the foundation for true freedom? And if the answer makes you think, then you're ready for the next step. Because money doesn't show up for dreams, it shows up for discipline. Come with me to principle number 4. Money shows up for discipline, not desire, where you'll understand why discipline is the only language money listens to. Principle number 4. Money shows up for discipline, not desire. Money shows up for discipline, not for craving. I once asked a group of students, how many of you truly want to be wealthy? Everyone raised their hands. Then I asked, and how many of you are willing to repeat the same right actions every day for 5 straight years? This time, only a few hands. I smiled. Because that's exactly why most people want success, but very few actually achieve it. You see, everyone has desire, but only those with discipline receive the reward. Money doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care whether you're tired or excited. Money only responds to one signal: consistency in action. I once knew a friend named Robert. He always said, when I make more money, I'll start saving. But year after year, even as his salary increased, his account stayed empty. because the problem wasn't how much he earned. It was his undisciplined habits. And I told him, if you don't learn to manage $1,000, then $10,000 will leave you too. Discipline is the fence that keeps success from escaping. Without it, every effort evaporates. When you have discipline, money starts to respect you. When you don't, money sees you as a passerby, not a gatekeeper. Discipline isn't exciting. It's boring, repetitive, sometimes exhausting. But that steady repetition is what makes the difference. Successful people aren't more talented than you. They're more consistent. They don't let emotions decide actions. They let principles do that. In this era, everything is tempting. Ads, social media, online shopping, enjoy life today. But disciplined people understand that real joy comes later, not instantly. They know how to reject the short term to gain the long term, because they know it isn't desire that leads to freedom, but daily refusal of temptation. And here's something interesting. Discipline doesn't just create results, it creates self-belief. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you're sending a message to your subconscious, I'm trustworthy. And when you start believing in yourself, you no longer need luck, you create it. Pause for a second and ask, is there a habit I know is destroying my future, but I still haven't stopped? If so, remember, every time you win against yourself, you're training money to trust you more. Money hates chaos. It only stays with those who have order, a plan, and commitment. Discipline is the only language money understands. And once you speak that language, long enough, money will find you and stay. Keep in mind, you can't control the market, but you can control yourself. You can't choose the perfect timing, but you can choose the right habits. When you control yourself, you control the outcome. And that's when cash flow starts to run steadily, not because you're lucky, but because you become someone money can trust. Therefore, once you've learned discipline, get ready to step up to a higher level of mindset. Because if you haven't fixed your thinking, then even with more money, it will only make your life more chaotic. Let's move on to principle number 5. If you don't fix your thinking, more money will only create bigger problems. Where you'll understand why wrong thinking can turn a blessing into a burden. Principle number 5. If you don't fix your thinking, more money will only create bigger problems. If you don't fix your mindset, more money only makes the problems bigger. I once heard an interesting story. A man won nearly $5 million in the lottery, and within 2 years he went bankrupt. When asked why, he said, I don't understand. I had more money than ever, but I made more mistakes than ever. You see, money can't fix your thinking. It only amplifies your old thinking. If you have impulsive spending habits when you're poor, you'll spend even more foolishly when you're rich. If you haven't learned to manage $1,000, you'll lose $1 million for the same reasons. Money doesn't change you. It exposes who you really are. I once had a student named Anna. She started a business successfully, and her income increased tenfold in just 2 years. But instead of calmly building a foundation, she began spending as if success would last forever: luxury cars, designer clothes, constant travel. When revenue dropped, she panicked. I asked, what changed? Anna, she was silent and admitted, it wasn't my income that changed, it's that my thinking never did. That's most people's problem. They want more money, but they refuse to upgrade their mindset. They think money will bring happiness, freedom, respect. But if you don't have the right mindset to manage, invest, and grow it, money will only expose the mistakes you used to hide. Money is a magnifying glass. It enlarges everything. If you're wise, it helps you become wiser. If you lack discipline, it makes you more reckless. If you're selfish, it amplifies greed. If you know how to share it, multiplies your value. Wrong thinking turns money into a burden. Right thinking turns money into a tool for freedom. We live in an era with abundant opportunities, but precisely because of that, illusions are also more abundant. People see others investing in crypto AI startups and think they just need to jump in fast to get rich. But they forget that no opportunity can save wrong thinking. Instead of learning to understand the fundamentals, they chase trends, and in the end lose both capital and confidence. If you truly want money to stay, spend time building your mindset foundation first. Learn to see money as a tool, not a savior. Learn to ask the right questions. What value is this money serving? Does it help me become bigger, or does it just make me feel bigger? Because this small difference will determine your financial future. Pause and ask yourself, if tomorrow I had 10 times the money I have now, am I mature enough to keep it? If the answer is no, then the good news is you can start fixing that mindset today by learning, by building habits, by understanding that money only stays with those who respect it. Remember, money doesn't make you stronger. How you think and act with money does. Don't chase earning more before you learn to keep and multiply. And when you start changing your thinking, you'll realize something interesting. When you treat money seriously, money starts treating you seriously. That's when you move on to principle number 6, take money seriously, and it will start taking you seriously, where you'll learn to build a new relationship with money, respect, discipline, and maturity. Principle number 6, take money seriously, and it will start taking you seriously. Take money seriously, and money will start taking you seriously. I once told a group of young students, money is like a picky friend. If you take it for granted, it will leave. But if you appreciate it and treat it properly, it will stay and bring many of its friends along. The whole class laughed, but that's a very serious truth, because most people don't truly respect money. They spend without thinking, borrow without a plan to repay, and when they run out, they complain and blame circumstances. But you can't expect something to come back to you if you're the one who treated it carelessly in the first place. I once had a student named Lucas. He earned a decent income, had a knack for business, but every time he made a bit of profit, he would reward himself a new watch, a long trip, an expensive dinner, just to feel like he deserved it. Then, when things got tough, he was back to square one. I asked Lucas, if money were a friend, do you think it would want to come back to you? He went silent, because he understood he had never truly respected it. Respecting money doesn't mean being obsessed with it, not counting every penny or living in fear of loss. It means knowing clearly the role money plays in your life. Money isn't the ultimate goal. It's an energy system that helps you create value, freedom, and opportunity. If you treat money seriously, you will know how to record track and understand your cash flow. Know to invest in learning, because knowledge always yields better returns than stocks. Know how to delay gratification, because you understand every financial decision is a statement about your future. I used to be poor, but I was never poor in my thinking. Even when I had only a few dollars in my pocket, I still knew exactly where each dollar should go and why. And that seriousness is what made me the kind of person money could trust. I want you to consider this. Do you know exactly how much you spent today? Do you know where your money is working? If your answer is not sure, then maybe money is doubting you. Because money always goes where it's managed, not where it's squandered. It likes transparency, planning, and commitment. It respects people with vision, not those who only chase fleeting emotions. Remember, money is just a result. How you earn, keep, and use it is the real test of who you are. If you want money to stay, start becoming the person worthy of money staying. When you change your attitude toward money, you're also changing your own frequency. And cash flow begins to respond to that frequency powerfully, naturally, and sustainably. So start today. Track your spending. Build an emergency fund. Invest in knowledge. And tell yourself, I respect every dollar I create. That's how you signal to the universe that you're ready for more. And when you learn to respect money, you'll also learn to feel less stressed about it. Because as I'll share in principle number 7, the sooner you learn to save, the sooner you stop stressing. Saving isn't just a financial action, it's a mental therapy that helps you live more freely day by day. Principle number 7, the sooner you learn to save, the sooner you stop stressing. The sooner you learn to save, the sooner you stop worrying. I once said, savings don't make you rich right away, but they buy you peace of mind. I remember a story about a student named Daniel. He worked in tech, had a stable income, strong skills. But at the end of each month, Daniel always fell into stress. He said, Coach, I work hard all month, but in the end, there's still nothing left. One small thing, a hospital bill, a car issue, an unexpected charge, and everything collapses. I looked at him and said, Daniel, the problem isn't that you don't earn enough, it's that you haven't learned to keep enough. You see, money stress doesn't come from lacking money. It comes from lacking a foundation. People without a habit of saving are like living in a house. Without a foundation, even a light breeze keeps them up at night. Saving isn't squeezing the joy out of life. It's the first declaration of freedom. Every time you save, you're telling the future, I can take care of myself. I am not a slave to any incident. I've seen many people make thousands a month yet still worry. And I've also met those who earn only a few hundred but live at peace. The difference isn't in the number, it's in the habits and the sense of agency. People who know how to save can face life with confidence, while those who don't always carry a quiet fear. What if something happens tomorrow when you learn to save? You begin to understand money more deeply. You learn patience, discipline, and respect for small amounts of value. A single dollar kept today is a small brick building the wall that protects your future. And the thicker the wall, the calmer your mind. I want you to try this for the next 30 days. Set aside 10% of your income for yourself, no one else. Don't call it savings, call it a freedom fund. Because every dollar you keep isn't just money, it's proof that you're in control of your life. Don't wait until you have a lot to start. Start when you have little, because if you can't learn to save $10, you won't know how to keep $10,000 either. Remember, saving isn't something for the rich, it's the first step to becoming rich. And the sooner you learn, the sooner you escape the burden of living paycheck to paycheck, Ask yourself, am I working for money or making money? Start working for me. Because once you know how to keep it, then you can learn how to make it grow. And that is the next transformation. Come with me to principle number 8, time is money. Stop wasting the only resource you can't replace. Where you'll understand that sometimes what's more precious than money is the time you're wasting without realizing it. Principle number 8, time is money. Stop wasting the only resource you can't replace. Time is money. Don't waste the only resource you can't get back. I once told my students, if you lose money, you can earn it back. But if you lose time, you've just lost the very opportunity to make money. And the scary thing is most people aren't poor because they lack money. They're poor because they undervalue time. I remember a young man named Kevin. He always said, Jim, I'll start when I have more time. But every time I met him again, it was the same line. Time passed, opportunities passed, and youth slowly slipped away. One day Kevin sighed, I wish I had started earlier. I said, no one ages because of years, Kevin. People age because of procrastination. You see, time is the base currency of life. Every minute that passes is an invisible coin you're spending and can't get back. You can spend it on learning working self-development or on complaining, comparing, and scrolling social media for hours. But whatever you use it for, you are paying. Some people say, I don't have time to change. I reply, no, you do. You're just selling your time too cheaply. They sell their time to meaningless habits, to procrastination, to temporary emotions, and then they complain that life is unfair. Time isn't unfair, it's neutral. It gives everyone the same 24 hours and simply watches to see who uses it more wisely. Imagine this. If every morning you received $86, 400 inches your account, but any unused balance disappeared at the end of the day, what would you do? You'd certainly use every dollar wisely. Yet every day you receive 86400 seconds, and you let them slip away without thinking. Successful people don't have more time than you. They just invest time the way the wise invest money. They schedule, prioritize what matters, and say no to things that don't lead them to their goals. If you're busy all day yet still not moving forward, it's not because you lack time, it's because you're giving your time to the wrong things. When you start seeing time as money, you'll change completely. You'll weigh each decision more carefully. Does this pay returns for my future? Can I use this 1 hour to learn, to build, to grow? And you'll realize every wasted minute is an opportunity you just lost to become richer, wiser, and freer. Ask yourself, if time were money, am I investing it or squandering it? Start treating time with the same respect you give money. Because only when you manage your time can you control your life. And when you learn to stop wasting time, you'll start to see other people and money begin to respect you too. Remember, money can come back. Time cannot. Every minute that passes is a piece of your life. Make sure you're using it to build something meaningful. And when you understand the value of every second, you'll learn the next lesson. That money is just like time. It only serves those who know how to use it as a tool, not as a piece of decoration. Come with me to principle number 9, treat money like a tool, not a trophy, where you'll learn how to turn money into a loyal servant instead of a ruler over your life. Principle number 9, treat money like a tool, not a trophy. Treat money like a tool, not a trophy. I once asked one of my students, if I give you a hammer, what will you do? He answered, I'll use it to build a house. I said, good. But if you hold the hammer and just show it off everywhere, you'll never have a house at all. Money is just like that hammer. If you know how to use it, it builds. If you only show it off, it destroys. I've met many people who earn money quickly, but only to prove to the world that they've made it. They buy luxury cars, expensive watches, houses bigger than they actually need. Not because they need them, but because they want to be recognized. They don't use money as a tool to create value. They use money as a metal to cover up the insecurity inside. One of the greatest tragedies of modern people is that they use money as the measure of self-worth. But money says nothing about who you are. It only says what you've accomplished with your abilities. If you use money to prove your value, you'll always feel lacking. Because there will always be someone who has more than you. But if you use money as a tool, you'll feel enough because it serves you, not controls you. I once told a young entrepreneur, don't show off money. Show off the freedom that money brings. Because that freedom to live the way you choose, to help others, to invest in your dreams, that is the real victory. Smart people understand that money is fuel, not the destination. Money is the helper, not the boss. Money is an energy system, not a vehicle for ego. And they use money to create things beyond themselves, a project, a value, a legacy, a meaningful life. If you look around, you'll see many people work extremely hard just to buy things they don't need. With money, they don't have to impress people they don't like. And then they ask themselves, why do I still feel empty even though I have money? The simple answer, because they lost sight of money's purpose. Money wasn't born to be worshipped. Money was born to serve your mission. If you use money correctly, it will pave the way. If you use money incorrectly, it will bury you. Start by changing the way you talk about money. Don't say, I need to earn more. Say, I need to use what I have more effectively. Because sometimes, $1 used wisely is worth $10 spent carelessly. Ask yourself, what value is my money serving? Does it help me grow, or does it only help me look bigger? When you see money as a tool, you'll use it to create freedom, create opportunity, and create the life you truly want to live. And then money will begin to respect you because you've understood its true role. Remember, fools show off money. Smart people make money work, and the wise use money to build the person within. And when you know how to use money for the right purpose, you'll learn a deeper lesson. Money isn't loud. It grows in silence in the persistent actions no one sees. Let's move on to principle number 10, quiet work grows wealth, not loud talk, where you'll understand why truly wealthy people don't need to say much, they let results speak. Principle number 10, quiet work grows wealth, not loud talk. Wealth is cultivated in silence, not in bragging. I once told a young student, don't tell me about your plans, show me your daily habits. Because you see, noise doesn't create results. Only quiet action nurtures real success. Today, everyone wants to share. They post photos of working, post about to start a business, post videos of getting ready to change their life. But while they're busy talking, someone else is busy doing. And so when the quiet ones reap results, the loud ones complain that they're luckier. No, they're not luckier, they're more focused. I once met a young man named Brian. He was passionate about investing, loved talking about big ideas. But each week I asked, he still hadn't started. Meanwhile, another girl in the class, Amy, didn't talk much, didn't show off her plans, but every day spent an hour reading, learning, and experimenting. A year later, Amy achieved what Brian was still only talking about. I told him, Brian, dreams don't need a microphone. They need quiet action. Money doesn't come to those who talk a lot. It comes to those who plant seeds. Like a farmer, he doesn't stand in the field shouting at the soil. He bends down, plants each seed, and believes that if he tends it daily, harvest will come. Silence is the environment of growth. All great things begin in silence. A seed sprouts beneath the ground. Muscles grow when no one sees. An investment account grows over months of persistence. If you want wealth, stop talking about what you will do and start doing the things that don't need to be said. Let results speak for you. Work while others are showing off. Sharpen your skills while others seek attention. Because one day you'll stand where they only dare to dream and you won't need to say a word. Ask yourself today, how much time did I spend talking and how much time did I spend actually doing? Remember, noise creates attention, but silence creates results. Loud people seek recognition. Quiet people seek growth. Be the quiet planter because the seeds you sow today are the prosperity you'll harvest tomorrow. And once you understand the power of working in silence, you're ready for a deeper lesson. That sustainable wealth doesn't come from a single effort, but from building systems that create automatic cash flow. Let's move on to principle number 11, build multiple streams of income. Systems create flow, where you'll learn how to make money come not only from effort, but from the structures you build. Principle number 11, build multiple streams of income. Systems create flow. Build multiple streams of income because systems create the real flow of money. I once said, don't pray for the river to keep flowing if you only have one stream feeding it. It's surprising how most people rely on just one source of income, one job, one salary, one contract. And when that source dries up, they panic because they don't have a system, they only have hope. I once met a man named Chris. He had worked hard for 15 years loyal to one company. But when the company downsized, his entire income vanished in a single meeting. He said, I lost my job. I replied, no, Chris, you didn't just lose your job. You lost the only system you ever relied on. Smart money doesn't flow to the hardest workers. It flows to those who know how to build flow. Hardworking people work for money. Wise people build systems so money works for them. Imagine this. If you had 5 small streams each, bringing in a little, even if one dries up, you still have 4 left. That's the power of systems. Today, there are countless ways to create a second or third stream of income. Build a personal brand and share real value. Invest in skills and sell your knowledge through courses. Create digital assets, ebooks, YouTube channels, podcasts, blogs. Invest wisely, stocks, funds, real estate. Build a team or automate a business you already know well. The important thing isn't which path you choose. It's that you start thinking like a system builder. People who work for money will always worry. People who build systems for money will live in freedom. And if you think you're not ready, remember no one ever is. They simply start with what they have and improve along the way. You don't need a lot of money to create income flow. You just need a systems mindset. Look at your own life. Is there something you do well that others would pay to learn? A skill you can share, scale, or turn into a product? That's the first seed of your income system. And once you've planted it, don't forget to nurture it every day. Because money flow is like a river. If you want it to keep running, you must clear the path, shape the channels, and keep the water clean. Ask yourself, am I working in someone else's system or building my own? Remember, average people work for money. Smart people build systems so money works for them. Great people use those systems to help others do the same. And once you understand the power of systems, you'll realize you are your greatest asset. Because if you stop investing in yourself, every other system will eventually fall apart. That's why I want you to move with me to principle number 12. Invest in yourself before you invest anywhere else, where you'll learn the final lesson that all wealth begins with you. Principle number 12. Invest in yourself before you invest anywhere else. Invest in yourself before you invest in anything else. I once said, if you want to become valuable, invest in the person who creates value you. It's strange most people are eager to invest in stocks, real estate, or startups, but hesitate when it comes to investing in their mindset, skills, and knowledge. They'll buy a new phone, but hesitate to buy a book. They'll spend hours on social media, but can't commit 30 minutes a day to learning. I once met a wealthy man, at least on paper. He owned houses, cars, assets, but when the market crashed, he lost everything. I asked, "What made you collapse so quickly?" He replied, "Because I invested in everything except myself." You see, external assets can be taken away, but internal assets, your knowledge, experience, attitude, and mindset, those can never be stolen. And those are the foundations that make money find you and return again and again. The world changes every day. Technology, markets, opportunities, everything shifts constantly. But those who invest in themselves never become obsolete because they're always learning, adapting, evolving. Those who stop learning, stop investing in themselves, even in the richest era of opportunity, will remain poor. There are many forms of self-investment. Read daily to expand your vision. Learn new skills to raise your value. Keep your body healthy to maintain your energy for action. Cultivate a positive mindset to overcome adversity. Surround yourself with wise companions who pull you forward, not backward, because every external result mirrors your internal world. If you're poor in thought, no asset will stay. If you're rich in mind, no failure can destroy you. I once told a group of young students, don't ask, which investment gives the highest return? Ask instead, how much return will the better version of me generate? That's the smartest investment because its dividends last a lifetime. Ask yourself, how much have I spent on self-growth this past year? If the answer is almost nothing, then you already know why money hasn't found its way to you yet. Remember, money only seeks people with the ability to multiply it. And that ability doesn't come from luck. It comes from daily investment. Never be afraid to spend a few $100s to learn. Be afraid of not changing after learning. Invest in your mindset, skills, and attitude. Because when you grow, everything else grows with you. Success is not a destination. It's a journey built day by day, habit by habit, thought by thought. Money doesn't flow by accident. It flows toward those who can manage themselves, build systems, and never stop learning. So don't chase money. Become the kind of person money wants to chase. If you master yourself, you'll master life. And when you master life, money becomes nothing more than a natural reward. And I want to ask you, after these 12 principles, what will you start investing in first, your money or yourself? If you have your answer, leave it in the comments below. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and share this video so we can spread Jim Rohn's lessons to even more people. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. I'm Jim Rohn, and I believe every great journey begins with you.